Hello and welcome to the first official episode of Survival Command Blocks, where we're going to be playing Minecraft 1.9 Survival with an added bonus of command blocks. So as you can probably tell, I've already started going here. I figured there's no real reason to show you guys the initial startup because that's nothing new. But I figured now is a good time to chime in because I'm about to get to the Nether, which is the last thing I need is Nether quartz to start making command blocks. So let's head in here. Alright, just give that some time to generate in. There's a fire around where we spawned here. But, easy enough. Bunch of quartz right here. We're going to need 4 per command block. So this should get us our first couple here, which is good. So I've already got an idea of what we're going to do for this first episode. I figured... I'm just going to skip ahead here until we get one, so that way we can actually do something this episode instead of just normal mining. Alright, so that's 20. Let's see, is there any more right here that's accessible? Yeah, some down here. Let's get this as well, just so we can make enough command blocks for what I want to do here. That's 32. That should be enough. Let's get back up into the overworld. And what we really want to do is we want to find the spawn chunks. I should have paid attention to where I spawned in here, because we're going to want to build most of these command block contraptions in those spawn chunks. So that way, no matter where we are in the world, they still work. Here's all my stuff. Let's see, where are we? 100 by 169. We shouldn't be that far. Of course it's raining. Whoops, I don't know how I got down there. Yeah, let's go kill this chicken here because we're going to need food. We use up food a lot in this 1.9 update because of how health regenerates. Alright, so I spawned around here. I know I spawned by... Let me just double check where we are. Minus 100, positive 168. That's going to be important. I shouldn't have walked too far away. I know we spawned somewhere by this acacia forest. And I didn't walk that far. So it shouldn't be too hard to find. But I'm not going to really worry about that right now. Oh good, it stopped raining. I think it was somewhere around here. This looks familiar. Oh, hard to say because it goes on forever. But yeah, let's go ahead and make our first command blocks. So if you guys did not see the introductory video that I made earlier, I have made a mod for Minecraft 1.9 that allows me to use command blocks in single player. So I guess we should talk a little bit about rules and whatnot. So the rules are kind of going to have to be made up as we go. Let's see, I need some smooth stone. So the obvious ones are you're not allowed to teleport without some fuel in order to move you. Or if it's just short distances, that's fine. Like if I just want to teleport from here to here, that's no big deal. And I'm not allowed to spawn in items unless I delete them from somewhere else. So... you know, if I want to make like a cache system, I can delete a bunch of items in a chest, store it in a cache, then I can spawn those items in later. So basically everything just has to use a resource that normally wouldn't. So spawning in items, teleporting, spawning in blocks, all that stuff, you know, I need to have those blocks in order to spawn them in. But I am allowed to teleport them and move them around as I want to, so that we can make some pretty cool doors and cache systems. But what I want to do for this first simple thing here is I kind of want to make a death waypoint system. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do it with just command blocks, but I want to at least give it an attempt. So I want to make it so that way when you die, a little chat comes up and says, you just died at, and then give you the coordinates of where you died. So it's not going to make a big pillar in the sky like that mod. But it is going to let you know in the little chat box the exact coordinates of where you died, so you're not going to run around, you know, totally lost, which I often do. So let's go ahead and make our first command block here. All we got to do, 4 like that, and I need redstone. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And redstone in the middle, and there is our first command block. And we're going to have some more coming in any second here. So, as you can see, you can make command blocks. We can use the command blocks all in survival mode, and we can break it and get that command block back. We can also switch between the different types of command blocks there, and also there. And if we actually were to break this one, we get that as well. So basically full use of command blocks in survival mode, which is exactly what I wanted. So let's make another one here. And there we go, now we have 2. Alright, I've let that cook a little bit more, and I've thought about how I'm going to do this. So let's give us some more space here. Obviously, I'm going to be moving this once we build it, but it should be pretty simple for me to just do. Is it really raining again? Didn't it just stop raining? I need to make a bed pretty quick here. That should stop most mobs, I think. Let's go over here. Just want enough space. So this should be pretty simple. All we have to do is, let's make a pressure plate. So I'm going to give myself a rule here, as I'm not allowed to type in any commands for any reason. So usually in this situation, I'm going to be making a scoreboard objective here in order to track death. But I'm not going to be, I should actually make a lever, but whatever. I'm not going to be actually typing that command in, except in a command block. So we'll go scoreboard objectives, add, I want, let's name it just death, and then we can do death count. Alright, just done on that. Add a new scoreboard objective, death. Okay, so now we have a death objective, and then what we need to do is detect if that ever goes up to 1. So if we do, alright, it has finally stopped raining, and I am going to, well, it is nighttime still. I'm going to get used to this mouse sensitivity. Might want to turn that down a little bit, because I keep flailing around. Yeah, let's put that down to like maybe 50. Yeah, that seems okay. So yeah, I'm going to be packing up here. I don't really want to build this here anymore. I want to get to the spawn chunks. So let's go ahead and make a compass, because that will tell us exactly where the spawn point is, because I haven't set a bed or anything. And it's that way. Alright, but I do have to figure out what I want to take here, because I'm not going to be able to take it all. A lot of junk in here that I can probably avoid taking. Okay, there we go. I've got the important stuff. I'll leave this here, and it's about daytime. Awesome. Oh, the skeleton there. They're so nasty. There we go. I'm getting better at fighting them. Alright, so let's head out of here. I want to head directly to the spawn chunk, so I know where to build this. I was attempting to build this in just survival without actually testing it at all in a creative world. That doesn't seem like it's going to be too easy with most of these contraptions. Problem is, when you're testing a lot of this stuff, you often end up like dying, to test, especially the death mechanics, and creating and removing scoreboard mechanics and stuff. And that's stuff I really don't want to do a ton in the survival world. So for just the basic testing, like not the design or anything, just the basic testing, I went to a creative world and tested it out. And it turns out there is no way in Minecraft right now with command blocks to actually get the player's coordinates. You can't do like player.x or something like you can in the actual code. So that's unfortunate. So there's no way I'm going to be able to really, no easy way anyway, to spit out the actual coordinates where I died. But I came up with something else that I'm going to do. Basically, it's kind of like a waypoint system where instead of putting the coordinates, I'm just going to put a giant pillar, and I'm going to put a pillar of iron bars. There's a couple things I could have done. I could have spawned a beacon, but that could be a little cheaty if I spawn a beacon, even if I deleted it afterwards. And it would be more annoying because I'd have to spawn a beacon and then a base around me wherever I died, and that can get nasty. Oh, it looks like we're almost here. Alright. So this block points here. We're almost at the middle here. We want to find the exact middle just so I can mark it. Alright, there we go. As you can see, all these blocks are pointing directly to that point. So that means this right here is our spawn point. So that means everything around this. Unfortunately, there's a bunch of water. That would make building a lot here a little tricky. But this is where we want to build most of our command block contraptions that work in the entire world. So I'm going to just start by putting this here. I made a few more command blocks. Let's make another chest. I should have taken some chests, actually. There were some in that big chest. But I can easily make another one here. Alright. So let's store all this junk that we don't need. And just take out what we do. Alright, so I want the command blocks, some redstone, and that's it. I'll take this out actually, and this to make a lever. Okay. So, what we're going to do is a similar thing that we did before, where we've got one command block that's testing for our death. We can do that by test4 at A. We have to actually use at A. I'm not sure why, but when we used at P, it wasn't working. Something to do with, once you die, you're not actually in the world, but at A works, so we'll use that. And then we want to do score underscore, what did I name? I want to do scoreboard objectives list. All right, we needed death. Let's go ahead and delete that. Obviously, I've decided to not keep going with that whole thing where I can't enter commands in here. For the scoreboard stuff, I'm going to have to enter it in the chat bar. It's going to be too tedious to enter them in command blocks. So just the actual scoreboard manipulation, we're going to have to use through this. So let's say scoreboard. I want to actually remove death and scoreboard objectives. Add, and I want to name it death trigger just in case I want to use the death scoreboard again. I don't have to worry about the names, and we'll name that death count. Okay, so then in here we'll go again test4 at A with score death trigger minimum of 1. So it's anyone with a score of 1 or higher will trigger this. And then this one, I want this to be a repeat command block and have it always be active. Alright, so then if I go ahead and do scoreboard objectives, players, set, classic Tim, death trigger to 1, as you can see, it found me. And let's go ahead and set that back to 0. And also I'm going to shut off command block output. Game rule, do command block output, false. Okay, now we won't get spammed. So this has found us. And then what we can do with this is, actually, I kind of want to rotate this. Let's put this way. All right, just copy and paste that command in there. And then from here, I want to go this way, actually. Keep it going a line, set that to chain, and conditional. That means This command block, because it's set to conditional, as you can see with this arrow, it will only trigger if this one puts out true. So this, even though it's actually coming out right now, if I do say hi, it's not going to pop up because this is not coming as true. But if I were to set this back to 2 or 1, conditional, oh, that needs to be always active. Why is it not working? Say hi, chain, conditional. Oh. Did I have that set to needs redstone before? I could have sworn I changed that. But either way, we'll set that back to conditional. As you can see, it's triggering, and as soon as I type in that, it stops triggering. Alright, I'm not sure why that... I could have sworn I changed that. But either way. So what we need to do here is start the commands for the waypoint by spawning a pillar on us. But I don't want to just have it to where we have... it just spawns a giant pillar, and then when we get there, that pillar is just there. Because I don't want to have to mine it out or anything. So I'm going to make a little thing here in order to spawn in the pillar. And then also have it delete the pillar once we get there. So I did something kind of like this. Let's get some blocks. Let's make this easier. Right, build up like that, and then I had command block there. Command block. We're going to have to go underneath all this. Command block there and there. Having a torch in the offhand makes it kind of tricky to pillar up. Alright, so basically this is going to be like a clone template. It's just easier if we just clone it in. So once we die, we're going to want to clone in this, and then we're going to make this spawn in the actual pillar. Well, actually, we want to spawn in the pillar over here, and then have this also spawn in order to delete the pillar once we get close. So to do that, we're going to want to do up here, we want to just copy this. So this is going to test for any player within a radius of 5. Alright, we'll set that to always active and repeat. So this, see, it found me because I'm a player within a radius of 5. Alright, and then we want to set this to chain always active conditional. Do the same for this one. Alright, so then these two are going to trigger once I get close. And pretty much all I have to do is delete all of this. But before we get to this, let's actually spawn in the iron bars. So instead of spawning it in through here, what we're actually going to do is we're going to spawn a command block where we die and have that spawn in the iron bars. So let's go here. You want to do set block. Well, actually we want to do execute. And what an execute command does, it lets you do commands as something else. So we want to execute as player with, let's just copy this here. So we want to execute as this player, which is the player that we detected right here, with a relative coordinate of nothing. And then you don't have to put that slash there, but I like to do it just to separate it. So now it's like we're not a command block anymore, we're that player. So then we can do set block tilde tilde tilde, and now these tildes do not represent this command block, it represents this player that it found. So if we do set block 0 0 tilde 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 or 0 0 0 really, Minecraft command block Okay, and then we need to do the command, so we can do that by typing in first 0, and that 0 represents the damage value of the block, which you don't really need. And then you have to do replace, so it replaces whatever block is there. This isn't necessary if you're just going to spawn the command block, but since we're going to have to put in some variables at the end here, we need to put those in between. And then we can type in 2 curly brackets and do command, colon, and then we can enter the command that goes inside the command block right here. And that command is going to be fill tilde 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 tilde. And these are the first the first and second coordinates for the fill command. But remember, now we're in this command block, so these tildes represent this command block. So we want to replace everything with iron bars up 2 from this. Well, actually, let's do this up 1. Let's spawn this at the player's head. So if we put a 1 there, we'll spawn at the player's head, and then right above this command block, we'll spawn in this fill command, and we want to fill that with Minecraft iron bars. Okay. Now, for the sake of this, as I cannot set block without creating a block, I will put this command block aside. Okay? Now this command block represents the command block right here that I am going to summon in. Okay, so that's what that command block represents at the moment. And once we sort this out, I'll figure out how to do that. But we're not spawning in any command blocks. This command block is being set right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and test that really quick. By setting our... Oh, I forgot I logged out. I want to do scoreboard players set to classic Tim, death trigger to 1. Okay, we're dying. And 0. And let's go ahead and break this command block for right now. Oh, we created a couple. Oh, we created 4. Alright, so we created 4, so let's drop 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so those are the ones we spawned in right there. I think we had 4, right? 3. I'll have to check back the footage to see how many command blocks I actually created there. But okay, so that worked, and I didn't check. I wanted to check. Let's try this again. Let's eat that. Man, it's getting dark here. Now you have to wait until day. Okay, it took me about all night, but I finally got enough wool to make a bed just in time for the sun to come up. Or enough string, I should say, to make wool to make a bed. But this way I can sleep in the future. Don't need to worry about that for setting a spawn point because I'm at the spawn point. Okay, let's eat some stuff here. Whoops. Okay, I'm gonna take these torches out of my hotbar there. I'll put. No, I'll leave my hotbar empty at the moment. Oh, my sword broke. I should make a new one. I think I'm gonna make a diamond sword. I only have 3 diamonds, but the monsters have been pretty brutal. Okay, and let's store all the junk that we don't need right now. Can't really fit anything else. Alright, so as you can see, this is the command block that we spawned in. And it has this command. I made a mistake here. That's supposed to be like 100. So it should be from 1 to 100. So that way it spawns all the way up to the top. Now, these iron bars, even though I'm spawning them in, I don't count them as a block. So it's not like I need to have a chest full of iron bars in order to do this, because I'm going to delete them immediately. So I'm basically replacing the iron bars that I spawn in with the iron bars that I spawn in. So, you know, I'm going to spawn them in, but I'm going to delete them so it cancels each other out. So I don't actually have to have the iron bars in order to do that. So if I go ahead and fill this like so, I can show you what it would do with my lever here. As you can see, just a giant pillar of iron bars that we can see from 200 or so blocks away. It's not so as protruding as a line of blocks though, but it's also easy enough to see. So this will help us find our spawn point. Now something important though is in this command we want it to be what mode is it called? Let's copy this here for the autofill. Yeah, we want it to be the keep mode. So if we go 0 keep, what that means, okay, is if there are blocks currently in this area, so say we're inside of a building. I need to have some sort of a item deleting command so I can delete any items that I do not actually want to keep. So in a normal situation, if I didn't put that keep there, it would replace these cobblestone here with the iron block. So obviously if I die inside my house, I'm not going to want to have to replace the roof or anything, or if I'm in a cave, I don't want to have to, have this giant hole in the ground. So this, as you can see, will keep the stone. And then we want to do something similar when we delete it. So in this area, we want to replace it with Minecraft air, and then we're going to do replace, but we're going to replace it with, I'm sorry, we want to replace Minecraft iron bars. All right, so that will just delete the iron bars and none of the other blocks. So now we have a way of spawning in and deleting all of the iron bars. And like I said, I'm not counting them as blocks at this point. It's just a laser kind of thing, so we don't have to actually have iron bars. So basically, we want to have this command block spawn in right here and make sure we get in there. 0 keep. All right, so when we die, this command block will be spawned. I'm going to go ahead and break this now because we're just doing that as a test. And we'll drop that command block. Okay, and then on top of that, we need to trigger this command block. So we will have to place another one of these down. Conditional chain, always active. Okay. And one more thing. I need to create one more command block that clones this in. So before we do that, let's go ahead and copy this into here. And this next command block that we're going to do is not going to have that command. It's going to have the command to clone in this structure where we died. Okay? So clone command is actually pretty easy because in this F3 menu, if you're looking around up and down, you can see the very bottom of this area, you see looking at. So you can tell the exact block that you're looking at. So then we just wanted to use a /clone, and that'll give us the specifications. So we'll do clone 198.64.251, and then that selects this block. And come up here, and we'll do 198.66.251. That selects this block. And then we just need to give it the area to actually spawn in to. So that we'll do in this command block here. Oh, I didn't actually copy this. I need to copy that. So put that in here. And then the area that we actually want to spawn it into is right on top of this block. All right, so that's tilde, tilde, tilde. But we want to spawn in this command block beneath this command block, so at the floor. So we got to come over here and put 0. Well, actually, we don't have to put 0. It's just tildes. So that command block will spawn right at our feet, and this one at the moment spawns at our head, but I actually want it to spawn one block above our head. So we'll put that at 2. So now this spawns the command block right there where we're standing. so right above us, and then this one spawns in the command block beneath us. And what this command block does is it spawns the iron bars, and this command block summons this right here. So it'll actually delete this command block because we don't need it anymore. It'll just spawn in the blocks above. Now, this should work. Problem is, when I was testing it though, this command block would get triggered after this command block. So if this command block gets triggered first, it deletes this command block. So we need this one to get triggered first. By the way, I trigger it by spawning a redstone block in between. So for some reason, it spawns the one on top first, which is fine. What we should just do then is replace, flip them. Even though it doesn't really make sense, we'll flip this. So this one is going to be at our feet. And then spawns the iron blocks 3 blocks up. So this one spawns here and starts spawning the iron blocks right here. So it does not delete this command block. And then this guy will have to clone in this with -2. So we'll put this guy at 2 to spawn above our head. And then to counteract that, so it clones it at the floor, we'll make this command -2. Done. Okay. And then finally, we need one more command block here. And again, make it chain. And we just want to do set block. Actually, we still want the execute command, so I'm going to go ahead and copy this, paste it. We don't need anything with this command here, because we're just going to be spawning Minecraft redstone block. And we'll be spawning that at 1. So that means that'll spawn a redstone block right in the middle, activate both command blocks. This will set the iron bars. This will clone in this section here. And then that's pretty much it for the structure. Now, we want to do one more thing, though. And that is... Okay, so this is my last command block. I haven't checked to see if we actually spawned in an extra one at some point. If that is the case, I will just create another command block and delete it. But for just right now, we're going to go ahead and put this right here. All right, do that like that. Now, this would look like this would continue on, but because this command block is conditional, it'll only be triggered when the one behind it. So this doesn't actually connect in any way, which for compactness, this is actually kind of nice, but also it's kind of confusing. But I'll just leave it for right now. But the last thing we want to do is copy this into here. And we want to do scoreboard players set, and then select this player, the same player we started with, which is me. And then do death trigger, set that back to 0. So that way, like as you saw before, it was continuously spawning more and more command blocks on my head. We don't want that. And this will set it back to 0. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and kill myself. So let's go ahead and make another chest here to drop off all of our stuff. And we'll put all of our stuff in here. Okay, so now this will come up. It'll run through here, spawning this. These don't actually have anything in them yet. But let's go ahead and do that. So all we're going to do with this is fill. This command block will be deleting all of the iron bars. So we can just copy this exact command. Here. Paste that in here. And actually we can do that 2 though, because this one's higher up. And we want to do replace Minecraft iron bars, and we want to replace that with air. Okay, so this one will delete all the iron bars. Now, the reason we need 2 command blocks here is this one will replace all the iron bars without deleting anything. And then we want just one more to delete these 3 blocks right here. So then we can do fill tilde 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 3 tilde and then Minecraft air. Okay, that should work. Now, here's the cool thing. This is all conditional, so this won't be deleted unless there's iron bars to delete. So I can actually walk safely around this, even though this segment would delete itself if this wasn't conditional. There needs to be an iron bar above it in order for it to actually delete itself. So this is actually running right now, but no iron bars to delete, so this never gets triggered. Alright, so let's go ahead and die. We're going to lose these levels, but that's fine. That's what we're going to have to do to test this. So we can get my flint and steel here. And we'll just die well over here so we don't actually accidentally trigger it. Oh, I forgot my armor. I'm wasting all my food here. Yeah, definitely don't want to destroy the durability on our armor there. Alright, so we'll just stand in here a little bit more. Now, if all goes correctly, we should die. Let's go ahead and drop that so it doesn't fall in the fire. Alright, so we died. We'll respawn. And as you can see, we've got the pillar lined up. Ooh, we're getting some frame rate drop over here. Big frame rate drop. Why is that? Is that the command blocks doing that? I wouldn't spawn anything, wouldn't break anything. Something is triggering, not like it's supposed to. But either way, we've got our huge pillar here, and we know where we died, so if I walk up to it, it'll delete, and it's gone. So there's no, we're not actually spawning in any kind of extra blocks here. It's just being deleted as it spawns in. And we have these 3 command blocks. The lag has stopped now, so I don't know what was causing that. I may have to, maybe it's because these are connected. But now that that's gone, we're not lagging. Lag might be an issue on this world because of all the command blocks we're going to be adding, but that's something we just have to deal with. So yeah, all the command blocks are represented. This command block represents that one command block that gets spawned in the first instance. And then these 3 command blocks represent the command block that gets spawned in after that. Actually, I might need to do one more. And I'll test to make sure that this command block, we didn't actually spawn in an extra one. And if so, I'll just make another command block and delete it. But that's going to go ahead and end this first episode here. I imagine this episode is going to be incredibly long because of how much I talked about all this. But I may be able to shorten it down. Either way, I'm glad we've got that. We have a death system now, so if I do die, we're not going to lose all of our stuff as easily because I'll be able to tell where we died within 200 blocks or so. So, again, that's going to do it for this episode. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.